going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks right here on the Mayo Media Network. I'm your host, Meaney. Thanks, as always, for taking the time to hang out. If you're just new to the show, it's not too late to subscribe to the Mayo Media Network. Pat is always pumping out content, so if you're subscribed, you're going to get that content right away. We're going to continue to do some hockey stuff here throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. If you have a question, please leave it in the YouTube section. I will circle back before puck drop, as it is right now, coming at you early on a Wednesday. Just the 3 games in the NHL. 3 teams looking to force a Game 7. 3 other teams looking to punch their ticket to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And if you're like me, you want a Game 7. Come on. Game 7s in the Stanley Cup playoffs, there's really nothing better than that. So hopefully we can see a couple. I'd like to see Vegas close it out personally, but I'm a little selfish when it comes to the Golden Knights, having futures on them. But I wouldn't mind seeing a couple Game 7s. I will say that. So, again, coming at you early on a Wednesday, it looks like all 6 goalies are confirmed. Ilya Sorokin has yet to lose in this series, 3-0 against the Pens. He's most likely going to get the nod. And then Spencer Knight, more on him in a little bit. But he finally gave the Panthers some goaltending. He let in a goal in the first minute. And I was like, I was a little nervous for the kid. But then he went on to stop 36 consecutive shots. So he's the real deal. We'll talk about that series in just a few minutes. But I was looking for Max Pacioretty news. If Pacioretty surfaces like he's going to play, I will definitely check in here in the YouTube section of this show with my thoughts on Pacioretty. Would that mean come off Alex Tuch for a shot prop? I know he hasn't hit in the past 2, but I like this guy. If there's going to be no Pacioretty, the ice time's going to be there. The top power play time's going to be there. Opportunity playing on the top line will be there for Alex Tuch here against his former squad in the Minnesota Wild. So, again, you have a comment, a question, just leave it there in the YouTube section. Please smash that like button. As our buddy Pat Mayo loves to say, it'll help this show out quite a bit. Okay, so before we get into it, prizepicks.com, you can mix and match across all the sports that you love. They're all happening right now. I say this all the time, but they really are all happening right now. The NBA playoffs, you have MLB picks here on the Mayo Media Network as well. A couple hockey picks that I'll present to you. And there's NFL props as well that you can attack over at prizepicks.com. If you're looking for a promo code, it's right here in the link. In the description of this video, click that link. It'll get you a 100% first deposit match of up to $100. So I've been keeping it really simple when Tampa Bay and Florida are on the schedule. I attack that game. I attack players from that game. The total is 6. It's the highest total on the board here today. We've seen a lot of offense in this series so far, nearly 40 goals in the 5 games played. Pretty remarkable stuff. So Nikita Kucherov stands out to me at 4.6. He was held off the score sheet for the first time in the series in Game 5, but he does have 3 goals and 9 points in the series, 15 shots on goal. Spencer Knight, like I said, came in. He looked really good. He is awesome. I am completely worried about him. There's no question. But I think we'll see a very strong effort from Tampa Bay on home ice. I think we're going to see about 5 goals at least here in this game, even with Andrei Vasilevsky on the other side. I'm willing to attack Alexander Barkov here at 4.4. So a point in every game in this series, 1 goal and 7 points, 18 shots on goal. Really, his quietest game was the last time out. He still had a couple points, but he didn't shoot the puck. He had 5 shot attempts, but he only had 1 shot on goal. But he's averaging 21 minutes and 33 seconds per game in the playoffs. He just gets a lot of ice time, gets double shifted. With Florida needing a win today, I would expect him to get a ton of ice time, especially if Tampa Bay gets up early and a couple goals. This guy's going to get he may get 25, 26 minutes here tonight. It's very possible. We've seen it before with Barkov. But, 39 goals in 5 games in this series, at least 5 in 4 of the 5 games. As I mentioned, it's the highest total on the board. I like Jonathan Huberdeau as well, 4.1. He's got 2 goals, 10 points, 20 shots in the series. He's cleared 4.1 fantasy points at Prize Picks in 4 of the 5 games. So I think this total is a little low. It was 3 the other day, and we hit that one in the first period. Victor Hedman, 3.9. I think he's in play as well. 7 points, 14 shots, and 7 blocks. So check out prizepicks.com for the latest and attack that Florida and Tampa Bay game. The link inside the description of this video for a 100% first deposit match of up to $100. Okay, let's get after it. We are up to, I wish I had this on the fly. We had a decent, I'm going to have to do this on the fly is what I'm saying here. We had a decent day yesterday over at ftnbets.com. Bear with me here. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but we are up to 179 units. So we were at 173 the last time we did this show. We were at 85 in terms of props, 70 on parlays. The sides have just been okay, 15 units a total at 10. So if you are looking to be part of the FTN fam, use the promo code Mayo, Meaney. It's all good either way. We are giving picks until that Stanley Cup is raised over at ftnbets.com. So $24 for the rest of the year. Hopefully, if you pay that 24, we can return that profit in a day or two. Hopefully, that's the goal. Seen some green inside our FTN NHL Bet Discord channel as well. So with that out of the way, all that nonsense, yesterday was a pretty solid day. We got Aho, we got Matthews, we got the Leafs 2 units on the Leafs to win that game, and the under hit there as well. Geez, we had to sweat that Carolina game out, didn't we? Whew. Preds are hanging around. Matty Best, they're hanging around. Okay, so today, Pittsburgh and New York. Let's start there. The Islanders, home favorites here, slight home favorites. Again, you could use the free prop shop, the free parlay calculator over at ftnbets.com just to get the best possible odds. Seeing money line wise here, Pittsburgh minus 104 best and the Islanders minus 110. So it's pretty much a pick 'em here. The total at 5.5. The Islanders up 3-2 in the series. I think Pittsburgh's been the better team. They're just not getting the goaltending. This is something that I think we all probably expected heading into this round, is that Tristan Jarry, he needed to be much better. He needed to be good because you knew you were going to get strong goaltending on the other side. Surprisingly, it has been from Ilya Sorokin. Now, he's been good this regular season. He started game 1. Varlamov wasn't ready to go. Varlamov played game 2, lost. Varlamov played game 3, lost. Sorokin game 4, game 5, W's. So he has been good. He has stopped 77 of the 80 shots he's faced over the last 2 games. He's got a .951 save percentage in the series. So as I mentioned, he's won all 3, 5 goals allowed in the 3 games. The under has hit in 3 of the 5. I lean under as well. It is Jarry that I'm worried about, right? Pittsburgh. You're watching Marc-Andre Fleury and how good he is and how good he's been, and you're wondering, man, did Florida make the mistake in keeping Matt Murray and not keeping Marc-Andre Fleury? Murray was the reason they lost last year. He got outdueled by Price. Jarry came in, it was too late. Jarry could be the reason Pittsburgh loses this season, because I see, when I watch both teams play and you look at the numbers overall, Pittsburgh's been better. They have. At 5-5, they've outshot them. They've outchanced them. Just the last game alone here. 78-41, the shot attempts at 5-5, 36-18 scoring chances, 14-4 high danger chances, 44-27 the shots at 5-5 for the Pens. In the series, 299 to 217 shot attempts in favor of the Pens, 149 to 104. Let's do that again. 149 to 104 scoring chances in favor of Pitt at 5-5. But the goals in favor of the Islanders at 13-10. Tristan Jarry needs to be much better. I thought the Pens played a pretty strong game. They gave up the goal midway through the third and then lost there in overtime. So I'm going to lean with Pittsburgh here in a must-win situation to get it done. Like I said, they're going to need the goaltending from Tristan Jarry. I think the game is under. There's a couple shot props here. Sidney Crosby, he hasn't hit in the 2 games in New York, but Crosby's going to step up here tonight. There's really no doubt in my mind that the shot attempts are going to be there from that top line. And if you took them all in the last game, you won all the bets. Straight up, you would have anyways. So Sidney Crosby, 2.5 shots on goal, minus 135. Again, use ftnbets.com, free prop shop to get the best possible odds. Brian Rust, 10 shot attempts and 6 shots in his last game. He is cleared of 2.5 in 3 of 5, 6-2-0-4-4. There is always that risk that he could get a 0. It's Brian Rust after all. But this line, a lot of shot attempts in the last game, 20 shot attempts in the last game. Jake Gensel had 7 of them. He had 5 shots. He's probably my favorite of the 3, to be honest, because Sid is a bit of a pass-first guy, although he may take matters into his own hands here in a must-win situation. But for Gensel, 5, 6, 2, 7, and 4. 2.5 shots, minus 125. So he's cleared in 4 of the 5 games. So I'd rank him Gensel, Crosby, Rust. There's nobody I trust in the Islanders. I just don't. Bolivier would be the one. I just don't think there's really any need of it. So Pens in the under there. I see a 3-2 final. Geez, if it goes to overtime, it may just be the Islanders winning again. Florida and Tampa in here next. We talked a lot about this series off the top. 6 is the total. The Bolts are minus 145 favorites. Florida plus 132. I'm going to jump on Florida. I think you can maybe put them in the puck line into parlays. I think this game is going to be close. I think it's going to be high scoring. I really do. Again, a lot of respect for Spencer Knight and certainly Andrei Vasilevsky on the other side here. But as I mentioned, we've just seen a lot of goals here in this series, 39 of them, and the over is hit in 3 of the 5. We've had at least 5 goals in 4 of the 5 as well. So for Spencer Knight, I mean, he let the goal in the first period, and then he stopped 36 consecutive shots. He's 6-0 in his NHL career to start. It's just great. I mean, give some props to Joel Quenneville, right? He knows in the back of his mind, he knows this. We talked about in the last show. Florida has outplayed Tampa a large part of this series. They really have. Special teams in favor of Tampa, there's no question. But the couple mistakes that the Panthers make, it's in the back of the net, the breakaways, the 2-on-1s, the special teams, the power plays. Like, they need some goaltending. He started with Bobrovsky. Didn't like how he played. I thought it was a bit surprising because I thought in game 1, Bobrovsky played some pretty good hockey, and then he went to Chris Driedger, and Driedger was good. He was solid. But also that game that he was solid, he got saved by the post like 3 times in the first period. So even he wasn't that strong in that game. And then back to Bobrovsky. It's been all over the place here. Spencer Knight is the guy. Quenneville's thinking, wow, yes. But I haven't seen this in a long time. 3 different goalies in a series. It just doesn't really happen. But good on Quenneville for doing it, and for Spencer Knight. I mean, he's a good goalie. It's a conversation for another day that the Panthers drafted him early, and then I think days later signed Sergei Bobrovsky to a 10-year contract. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. I wonder if they can get out of that with Seattle, but if I'm Seattle, I'm saying no way. You want me to take Bobrovsky? Give me Ekblad too, or give me Barkov. This is not going to happen. So it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward. Driedger's probably the guy who's out the door, unfortunately for them, but I think Tampa. I think this series extends. I think it goes 7. It's going to be really tough for Florida to get this done. I think we're going to see a very strong effort from Tampa here today. But I will take the side of the plus money. But I think maybe just to save yourself a little bit, if it's a 5-4 game, a 4-3 game, Florida on the puck line in some parlays, maybe Pittsburgh in the under and Florida on the puck line, and then we'll get to the final game. I think that would be a decent-looking parlay. But I like goals here. Like I said, even with Spencer Knight and Andrei Vasilevsky, I think we'll see some goals. So Barkov burned me. Oh, man, did he ever burn me in that last game. I had so much riding on this guy. I think I lost like 6 or 7 units just from Barkov. I needed him in like 3 parlays. Oh, it was frustrating, but I'm going back to him. I really am. 28 shot attempts, 18 shots, 5, 4, 3, and 1. He did have the 5 shot attempts in the last game. He just didn't get there. You can get minus 149, 2.5, but I'm seeing right now DraftKings is like minus 220. Just fade him. That's too much juice. No chance. Don't even put him in a parlay at that price. We'll just move on. There's some other guys that we can get to that are at better prices. Sam Bennett, 20-plus minutes in all 4 games. Over 2.5 shots, minus 130. I'm seeing that. 4, 3, 4, and 5. So let's put Bennett. Let's rank him ahead of Barkov. But if you're over at William Hill, 2.5 for minus 149, I can get behind that. But, of course, you can't parlay over there, so it's just a single bet. But Bennett, put him into your parlays. And think about Jonathan Huberdeau. He's plus money at DK, plus 115. I know he's not a big volume shooter, but postseason's different for guys. They don't always pass off. They're shooting. He's cleared 2.5 in 3 of 5. He's had at least 4 shots in 3 of 5. He's got 9 in his last 2 games that Florida needed W's. So 2.5 at plus money, I think is a pretty good price. Going back to the Braden Point assist, I know he hasn't hit in a couple, but plus 150 I'm seeing for Braden Point to get an assist. I think that's pretty decent odds. Again, playing with Kucherov. Let's move on from that game. I think we'll see some goals, though. Hoping that Florida forces a 7th, but I think they'll be in tough puck line to play. Vegas, Golden Knights here, minus 139 in Minnesota, plus 120. The total here, 5.5. Vegas leads the series 3-2. Man, they dominated the last game, didn't they? Oh, my goodness. But they just, Cam Talbot was good. His best Marc-Andre Fleury impression, I guess. 5-5 numbers, 69-31 the shot attempts in favor of the Golden Knights, 33-13 the shots, 25-16 the scoring chances, and 12-5 the high danger chances. All strengths in that series, 40, or just for the last game, 40-14 the shots, 84-32 shot attempts, scoring chances 37-16, and the high danger 17-5. It really was just all Vegas, especially in the second period. Minnesota had 3 shot attempts in the second period. Oh my goodness. They just found a way to get a couple goals early. They tried to close the door. I guess they did close the door. Vegas has just been the better team. You hear the talk. I've heard it. We talked about it on the preview show with Cam. We picked Vegas. We had them in 7. We said we were going to sweat this out. I just feel like Vegas has been much better in this series. I know in the regular season, Minnesota held their own. They played really good. At times, outplayed the Golden Knights. But you've seen Vegas really step up their game here in the postseason. I like them to finish this series here tonight, and I think it is going to be under. The under has been, a profitable play. It is hit in 3 of the 5. There hasn't been a lot of goals for Minnesota in this series. Marc-Andre Fleury has been phenomenal. Now, he wasn't great in that last game, but he's played Minnesota 11 times. It's been 2 or fewer in 8 of those 11 games. So I think Vegas gets it done here tonight, especially if Pacioretty returns to the lineup. If Pacioretty returns to the lineup, honestly, it's enough for me to just stay away from the under. Not lean with the over, but just stay away from it altogether because he will just give Vegas so much of a boost, an inspirational boost, a boost to that line, that first line, and it'll just give them 3 solid lines that can score. Tuck will go back to the third, where he's been good this season, even playing in a third line role. So shot props, lots here to love. Shea Theodore is 5th in the NHL during these playoffs in shot attempts with 41, 16 shots altogether. He's cleared 2.5 and 4 of 5. I'm seeing at -149, 2.5 shots. Jonathan Marchessault's got 38 shot attempts, 21 shots, 7, 1, 6, 3, and 4. I would consider over 3.5 +140 if you can find it. There's some books out there that Marchessault's at 3. I would consider it if it's plus money, you get to 3, you get the push. Alex Pietrangelo, at least 4 shots and 4 of 5. I'm seeing -149, 2.5. And then Tuck. I don't mind Tuck. I know he's burned us in the past couple games, but he has cleared in 3 of the 5. 2.5 -115, pretty good spot for him, or price for him rather. 31 shot attempts and 14 shots. So keep an eye on that news. I will circle back before puck drop if Pacioretty does find a way to play, because it will change things for me just a little bit. And if you can't circle back yourself, if you find Pacioretty playing, maybe stay away from Tuck. Stay away from Pacioretty. He's going to be at 3.5. I don't love it, but Vegas, I think you could hammer Vegas if that's the case where Pacioretty's in the lineup. I like them anyway. So just to recap here the games, I like Vegas in the under. I like the over in Tampa and Florida. I have a lean with the Panthers on the puck line. And I like Pittsburgh and the under there as well. For shot props, Gensel, Crosby, Rust, Bennett, Huberdeau, Barkov. Barkov's just too juiced. I don't mind him as a single play if you can get him like fewer than -150, right around there, 50 cents. And then Theodore. Theodore may be my favorite play. He's probably like my second favorite play here today behind Gensel. But Theodore, 5, like I said, all the shot attempts, 41. So Theodore, Marchessault, Pietrangelo, Tuck. If there was a Minnesota guy, I don't even want to do it. Don't bother. If it was, it would be Fiala for me, but I don't think he had a shot in the last game. So that's just what Vegas has done. They're just so strong defensively. They don't give up anything. They were the best defensive team in the NHL all year long. All right, for DFS, again, my stacks here are just Florida and Tampa. Stack that game. Barkov, Huberdeau, Bennett, Kucherov, Point, Killorn. I think there's some value there in Cirelli, Gord, Killorn, and Palat to get you involved in maybe some cheap plays. Hedman and Theodore, if you can get to those guys. Montour is not getting a ton of ice time. He's still getting some power play time. He's shooting the puck a little bit, so he is somebody that I would consider. Marino for Pittsburgh, but I just think that the offense is going to be in that Florida and Tampa game. So I think game stacking there with potential one-offs like Theodore or Tuck or even Pittsburgh and the Islanders, there's nothing there that I feel strong about. Maybe Beaulivier as a one-off to put him in there. Bailey as a one-off, Nick Leddy to get to yourself just some salary saver in there as well. The goaltending for me, it's Fleury, Sorokin, and then Talbot. If you want to be contrarian, 38 saves. He had 28 points in his last time out. He has a 42-point showing on DK as well. So just basically my biggest takeaway from tonight, 3-game slate would just be to stack. I don't think a lot of people will do it, but you can get unique. If you're going to build 3 lineups, I would honestly have 3 of them with Florida and Tampa and just mix and match some of the lines. Get Verhaeghe in there. Make sure you roll with Bennett. Killorn getting top power play time, and then Yanni Gourde playing with Killorn. Or Cirelli playing with Killorn and Stamkos. I've rambled enough. Time to get this show out there. Thanks, Matty Best, for putting it together. Thanks to Pat Mayo for making this happen. And thanks to you guys for taking the time to hang out. Good luck on the ice tonight, and we'll be back later in the week. Cheers.